At home with the Gamecocks, presented by Ford. Boy, this is going to be fun. I know already. We're going to visit with longtime Gamecock and now back on our football coaching staff, and Max Thurmond at home with the Gamecocks, presented by Ford. And it's only fitting. Max, in transition and changing jobs, is in his Ford vehicle as we do this one. Welcome home, man. Glad to have you back. Are you excited to be back
Man,
home?
I'm so fired up to be back, man. It's awesome just to come back, and the thing that makes Jacksonville State so great is the people, and there are a few people that are still here through all the years that I was gone, and they're still here, man. It's just fired up to see those people and get a chance to catch up, and it's like you never left because they still remember you. You remember them. You share stories, man. It's just awesome.
All right. You came here as a player. You played for Coach Burgess. You played for Mike Williams. You played for Jack Crow. You might have been the smallest cornerback ever to play college football at any level, right?
Well, 100%, because when we would do physicals, the tape started at 5'5", and I could never reach the tape. And so uh, I never reached the tape. And so the guys the trainers that wrote down your height would always just say, "Hey, you're 5'5", because I would never reach the tape at five. I'm 5'4.5", and so I would never reach the tape because I'm sure you would never think a guy would ever come play college football at 5'4".
You played with you had two high school teammates, Cornell Buford, Natasha James, that
Yeah,
played with you, Joey Hamilton, part of that recruiting class that came in with you, and some others. Boy, you guys had some transition periods, I guess would be the best way to put it in there,
and
didn't you?
I know and we did, man. And the thing, like, as you go through life, there's always transition and adversity, and what that does, that makes you find who you are, and the people that want to be around you have the like mindedness and the things that you like. When you have adversity and you have challenges, like having a new coming in from a different head coach and a different style, you learn how to bond together with those guys, and you become really close because it was some tough days in there now.
Well, you're from Worth County High School, Sylvester, Georgia, but I would say Jacksonville is basically your home now. You were here as a player from '96 through 2000, a GA in '01, and then started your full-time coaching career in 2002, and 11 years at Jacksonville State after
Oh
that.
yeah, like it's crazy when you go think back that in 1996, a little bit old 150-pound guy from Podunk, Sylvester, Georgia, which I love my hometown, showed up, and basically that's where my mom tells me all the time, like, you lived in Alabama longer than you lived here, and it's a great place to raise a family. My kids grew up there, and now they go to Jacksonville High School. My wife gets a job there, and like you get ingrained in the community with all my buddies now, the guys you play with. Now you're becoming a young adult, and now you're friends with people that have kids your same age, and you're at the parks, the school functions, and all that stuff. So it's a great place, and it's just awesome to get back and get to see some of those guys.
When you left, when you got away, was it good to get away for a little bit and get involved with some other people and new ideas and new things?
Yes, in the coaching, in the world of coaching, and it's different from any other profession, because the longer you stay at a place, the tougher it gets. And like the I always hate the word, that's just the way we've always done it. It makes sense.
Right?
And when you stay at a place for a long period of time, it makes it really tough to accept change and to want to change, because when you've had success and you've done it a certain way, you think that's the only way to ever do it. And so when you go work, I work with Brett Gilliland, I work with Will Healy, I work with Nathan Brown, and the countless number of assistant coaches, you find so many different ways. Like, well, man, I didn't think you could ever do it that way. And you find so many different ways to approach the game of football, and that doesn't make anybody's ways right or anybody's way right. I mean, wrong. But it's just the fact of, you get an opportunity to see how different people approach a game, the team, and now you take part of that into your position, meaning your group, and you try, and it helps make you a better coach.
All right. You mentioned Will Healy. You were with him at Austin P. You were at Charlotte last year for that first season there. You go to a bowl game. That had to be a thrill there with what y'all did in that first season at Charlotte.
Man, it was a great time. Like, you get a chance to go to the Bahamas, and it's really great for the kids that started there. Like, there have been some peaks and valleys for those guys that were there at Charlotte. And, going through startup program, only being 7 years old, first bowl game in school history, just the amount of fan support, the support from the administration, all those guys, they just bought into it. And then, like, to go to a bowl game to reward the kids, man, the feeling of seeing their faces when they told us we were going to the Bahamas Bowl is one of those that I'll never forget.
All right, Max, you're coming back. You've been on both sides of the football in your career, offense and defense. You're coming back. You're going to coach special teams, and also I think what the Bandits is referred to with the defense that we run at Jacksonville State. Defense, where you played, that's where you spent, I guess, all your career and everything. Are you happier coaching on the defensive side of the football?
I just love coaching, period, man. It's just like it's one of the few things where you just get a group of people, no matter race, whatever, background, anything like that, they're all working toward one goal. And sports is one of those things that's the only thing you can do, like, to where that's the number one thing. Like, you get businesses, people trying to get commissions so they can get high raises and get promotions. Here, everybody's trying to win a conference championship, national championship. And anything that comes along with that, hey, it's a plus. But just coaching, period, it doesn't matter what it is. I just love the fact I get to coach, whether it's offense or defense.
Are you happy? You feel like you're back home now?
Oh, man, to walk through the field house and just see it, like, and I tell my wife this all the time. I have a hard time. I always go to my old office. I walk past my office, go to my old office. Like, oh, man, and that's Coach Kilgore's office. And I walk in, I was like, oh, I'm in the wrong office. And I have to go back. So just that, the muscle memory of, just how many days, hours, and time that you spent in that building is just so awesome. I give them a story about once a week. I try to give my Jacksonville State football history lesson. So we go downstairs to the first team meeting that we had this spring. And I said, hey, guys, I want to give y'all a little lesson. They were like, okay, what's that? I said, you know why there's 4 doors down here in this team room? They were like, nah, we just thought somebody would just wanted you to be able to get in and out. I said, no, half of that used to be the weight room, half used to be the team room. They were like, really? I said, yeah. You can only work out about 10 guys at a time.
Things have changed.
Yeah, just a little bit.
In the midst of all that's going on, is it going to make it more difficult for you learning your guys and them getting to know you and that sort of thing with them not being around you at this point in time?
Well, and it's so crazy. If this happens in 1996, I don't know what would happen. There were you had to be really rich to have a computer. Nobody had internet. And nobody had cell phones. So I don't really know what you would do.
I can only imagine how Coach Burgess would have reacted to something like this.
And in my small town, even if we did have internet, it'd be like, it wouldn't. It would hardly ever go through. But with the technology and people that are a lot smarter than I am, figured that some point in time we would need all this technology and all these type Zoom deals like we're doing right now. So it's really easy to keep up with your guys and you get to see their face. We always talk about, hey, turn your camera on because I want to see your face, just to make sure, that you can see if they looking at you, not just turning it on and laying the phone or the laptop on the bed and just, yes, sir. And they just listening and not really locked in. And so the technology part is making it, you still don't have that face-to-face connection time that you really would like to have. But you get a chance to still see your guys, still talk to them. You can see what their life's like at home. Like for me, that I was not in the recruiting process with any of the guys. So I get to see who has little brothers and sisters and cousins and parents. And when, hey, what are you doing? You get the real effect of going through that with these guys. And it's really fun just to see it. Because you never know what people are doing at home. Like, how everybody tries to get in a quiet room and, well, now you see a kid run through the background or yell, hey, man, you have to mute your microphone, please.
Well, we're glad to have you back. Thanks for taking a little time with us, and we'll do this again somewhere down the road. But welcome home. Welcome back, man.
And I'm glad to be back, man. I'm just hoping that, maybe Ogle and you and Ogle can not have a tailgate at the baseball field. If y'all are there, I'm not coming. Today, I just want to let y'all know. So,
you'll be the first person we invite, I promise you.
I come, but I'm definitely parking at the Coliseum. I'm parking at the Coliseum, and then I come over and hang out with you guys.
I understand.
Because
Thanks,
Olga likes a big fire when he barbecues. You make sure
Thanks, Max. Appreciate it, man.
no problem, brother. Y'all take care, man.
At Home with the Gamecocks, presented by Form, one of our newest members of the Jacksonville State coaching staff, Max Thurmond. Hope you'll join us again next time with more.